All right, we have one more comedian before the break, then we're going to take a short 10-minute break. Are you ready for one more comedian before the break? And give it up for Busy!
What's all first?
Nice. We're friends, clearly. So, I feel like I've been living here long enough that I'm starting to get used to like the Western Eurocentric culture. But still, like every once in a while, I do come across a new culture shock that I just need to deal with, you know, and I'm still getting over the last one I just had, and it was about, honestly, can someone tell me what the deal is with white girls and witchcraft? It's genuinely concerning. Like, some of you might not know what I'm talking about. First of all, good. Like, we are the normal people in this crowd. But essentially, what I'm talking about is that I was staying at a friend's place, more like a friend of a friend. I don't know her that well personally, but I needed a place to crash for a few days. Let's call her Alice, right? And so I was like, yeah, I need a place to crash in a different city for a few days. I call up Alice, like, hey, can I stay at your place? She's like, yeah, sure, all good. When I was there, she was a great host. She was like, can I get you something to drink? Like water, maybe tea or something? She's like, yeah, tea would be nice. And so we go into the kitchen, she puts on the kettle, and I'm like, can I have some honey with that tea, actually? She's like, yeah, the honey's right over there. So I grab the bottle of honey, I open the lid, and on the lid there's like a little bit of cat hair. It's like this cat's in the apartment. She's like, God, sorry about that, you know, it's my flatmate's cat. So I'm like, not a big deal. I remove the cat hair, I use the honey, all good. We go back into a room, we're talking for a bit. After a few minutes, she goes, oh yeah, I just remembered. If you wanted honey with no cat hair in it, there's some on the shelf right next to you. First question I had is, why do you keep honey in your room? And like, I think a fairly, standard question given the circumstance. And in my defense, I was expecting a fairly benign answer, like something on the lines of, oh, that's my good honey that I don't want my flatmate to use, or something innocent, like, oh, in the middle of the night, I get cravings and I spoon it like Nutella, like something innocent. No, she looks at me with a straight face and goes, oh yeah, I use that for my spells. I'm sorry, I don't think I got that correctly. You're gonna have to repeat. And she goes again, it's like, yeah, I use that for my spells and like these little rituals I do sometimes. And immediately my brain goes, I need to get the fuck out. I'm not looking to reenact a Jordan Peele movie, okay? Have you seen the film Get Out? Where the black guy goes visits his white girlfriend's family, and the family does juju, I was getting pretty big juju vibes, if I'm being honest, and but the thing is, I didn't make any backup plans, so it's like either I'm staying here the night, or I'm on the street, and honestly, that wasn't an unattractive option at the time. So in my head, I'm trying to resolve this issue, like, okay, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. Maybe let's try to figure this out. Let's figure out where we are. Okay, let's investigate. Let's dig into it. So yeah, let's do that. Let's investigate. And so I asked her, okay, when you say spells, what is it exactly that you do, and like, why do you do it? And we get into this like long conversation. She's like, yeah, I do like, I have protection spells for protection, love spells for love. And essentially what I do, she gets into the process. Like, sometimes I'll write things down that I want, I fold a piece of paper, I have to fold it away from me. It can't be facing me, I have to fold it away. And I'll burn the piece of paper. Ooh, and depending on if it's a full moon or not, I'll submerge the ashes in like some water. And I use the honey to make this type of paste. And I'm getting the picture at this point. And like 2 minutes into this conversation, I felt so relieved. Honestly, like a big sigh of relief. It was like, thank God. Because I realized in that moment that white girls are out here gentrifying witchcraft. And honestly, not gonna lie, it was kind of cute. Like, it was a little cute because for context, I come from a country where we have real witch doctors, okay? Like the type of people you actually don't want to fuck with. If you want money and influence in 2 months, you go see these people, okay? All I'm saying, like, when you make an appointment with these witch doctors, you know beforehand you are trading in your soul. Like, that's just the deal, you know? Like, all I'm saying is, if you make an appointment with these witch doctors, this is a BYOC appointment. Bring your own chickens, okay? They are making sacrifices here. Like, all I'm saying is you're not expecting to leave this appointment with a clean shirt, all right? And this is where I was coming from. And this is like where my head was at. And so when she was telling me this, I was like, oh, thank God it's like whitewashed witchcraft. No. And so like, I was calm about it in that moment, but still it's like a little crazy to me because what it seemed like happened is that white girls looked at the witchcraft that was happening in and around Africa and they went, oh my gosh, totes love what you guys are doing over there. The way you're manifesting your destinies in such creative ways. You know? One problem though, I'm vegan. So we can't do any of the animal sacrifices. So I think we'll take the general vibes you guys are giving out. We'll replace the animals with like some scented candles and honey. I think that's a fair trade. Honestly, if I was a spirit, I would appreciate scented candles and honey more than dead chickens. And that's what feels like happened, honestly. And the thing is, like, I have been saying white girls this whole time, and you might tell me, well, that's kind of unfair. You know, you have this one experience with this one person. But, you know, I told my other white friend about this story, and instead of having a normal human reaction, you know, like, you have, I think, a decent reaction, like some amusement, general confusion, maybe, you know, what I would expect. No, she goes, oh yeah, I think she does Wicca. Do you know what type of witch she is? I'm like, no. I'm sorry, you can't say those words in that order and pretend we're having a normal conversation. Like, how do you know, like, how do you know, how is this such a thing that you know about it? Like, you have to be concerned, how many witches are in these streets, you know? Like Halloween is over, but apparently there are still witches out here. Like, I'm not feeling safe, you know? And, thing is, at the end of the night, going back to Atlas, right, was the name they gave me. At the end of the night, I was much more comfortable with the situation, and not gonna lie, we fought. Yeah, and I have to say it was magical. It's always the crazies, you know, that are, you know, pull weird shit out, you know. But I do regret that decision a little bit because now I have to worry about the lion, the witch, and my new incurable itch. So thanks so much for spending my time.
Busy, everyone. Busy.